Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Excuse me. Let me know where you all are today. Say assalamu alaikum in the comments. Tell me where you are. And I'm going to give you a shout out as always. We are discussing today some positive, influential, motivational stories, I think. Oh, sorry. It's cold here. I have my jumper now. Today was very cold this morning and we had frost and it was it's going to be -1 tonight and we're not even at the end of September yet. So I'm thinking, how is it going to be in a few months? Well, Sister Tammy is sending me lots of snow pictures right now and she's loving it because, of course, she's experienced this her whole life. So she's can't wait for us to see what this massive snowfall's like. Just like to point out, we do get snow in the UK, but it's not often very deep. And when it does come, it brings the whole country to a stop for one. And it does get quite cold, but not as cold as I think Canadian temperatures get. So it's our first one. Assalamu alaikum, Angela from Scotland. How are you doing, sister? Of course, you get it quite bad up there in Scotland, don't you, Angela, the weather? It's starting to turn now, and it's starting to turn quite in the Atlantic states of Canada. Assalamu alaikum, Hakeem. How are you doing, brother? So I'm just going to give it a few more minutes to say assalamu alaikum to you all, and then we're all going to start this today. So tell me where you're from and tell me how you are. Tell me at least one thing you are grateful for today, inshallah. This is going to be our running theme of the day or the video, and I'm going to read them out if I can get to scroll on this lovely thing. So, yes, Sister Tammy, yes. Angela's fine, alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum, Prince Bashir. Hi, brother, how are you doing? Yes, Scotland gets lots of snow. See, you're grateful for aeroplanes. Yes, Sister Tammy should be doing the live today, but she's off to her daughter tomorrow in the United States. From New Hampshire, so she's flying back there. So make dua for Sister Tammy to have a very safe journey, inshallah. Her daughter is going to give birth, so it's very soon. So she's excited, and may Allah make it a very smooth delivery and a healthy baby, as well as healthy mother at the end of it. And Sister Tammy is excited because she's, of course, every woman needs their mother with them when they're having a baby. So this is why she's flying off. So Ya Rab, and she's watching you all now. So Ya Rab, sister, all goes well with your daughter, all goes well on the aeroplane, inshallah. And enjoy. Of course, you'll get the cold as well. She's making fun of me, and she's going to be just a little bit below us, so she's going to feel it as well, away from the heat of Cairo now. Assalamu alaikum, Akbar. How are you doing, brother? Assalamu alaikum, Alaya. How are you? Assalamu alaikum, Bashir. How are you doing? Yes, Angela, she's expecting a baby. Well, not Sister Tammy, her daughter is expecting a baby, so it's all exciting there. So please make your dua for Sister Tammy and her daughter. Inshallah, it's all going to be good. And she'll bring us news, hopefully, inshallah, very soon. Exciting times we have. A new life, alhamdulillah. So that's one thing to be grateful for, isn't it? Life, I suppose. Yes, of course. So we have to be grateful for that. Oh, Sister Tammy says she can't wait for the cold. And thanks for the dua, lovely sister. Oh, you are my sister. So, sister. So, inshallah, everything goes well. Salam, brother. You're doing fine. Alhamdulillah. So am I. And let's begin on our first story. So we're going all the way down to Australia. Do we have anybody with us from Australia or that part of the world? I'm not sure if we do. I don't know what time it is at all down there. I know they're probably almost 24 hours ahead of us. In any case, in Queensland, Western Queensland in Australia, they've gone from the extreme. So they are suffering from the worst drought they have had in a century, which of course, as many of you know, especially if you are from an agricultural background, the farmers will suffer greatly. I mean, farmers suffer from extreme weathers, whether it's hot or whether it's cold. So they have really been suffering, the Australian farmers in West Queensland, but the Muslims in that community have stepped up, alhamdulillah. A few weeks ago, we mentioned how they were collecting money for these farmers to help them. And they also made, during Eid, they made the prayer. They asked Allah to bring rain because obviously they are suffering terribly with this drought. And of course, if your farmers suffer, it has a knock-on effect for the rest of the community, because of course we all get our things from farms, whether it's fresh produce or milk or anything like this, meat, it comes from the farmers. So it is having a knock-on effect. So the Australian Muslims have come out again in force this week, and they have donated 33 tons of bales of hay. Now, we might think, well, why hay? Well, of course, the hay is used to feed the animals, so they need to keep them going. And it's you know, this kind of thing will help them a long way in the foreseeable future. And inshallah, this drought will end very soon. So I'm really happy to see that the Muslims are really stepping up over there to try and help their fellow Australians, especially those who are suffering right now in those droughts. So well done to the Australian Muslims. And we talk about it a lot. When you move to the West, or if you're born Muslim, you are a Muslim born into the West, or you are a converted Muslim still living in the West, we have a duty to take care of our societies just as much as we would if we are living in an Islamic one. And this is what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us, especially when he moved to Medina. Now, most households in Medina had already converted to Islam when he arrived, but there were many people who hadn't. But he still looked after these people, and he still made sure that they were cared for and looked after and had food. He didn't discriminate on them whatsoever. And this is written in the Treaty of Medina, this treaty that they drew up when he moved to Medina and he took control. And I don't know if many of you know much of the seerah. We produce video, we don't produce them, we put them out once a week, every Sunday, the seerah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's a very brilliant set of lectures by Dr. Yasir Qadhi. So if you don't find them on our website, which you will, please search for them on YouTube. It's one of the best seerahs I've listened to. He goes into good detail about it. And it's really important that we do know the seerah of Prophet Muhammad, because we need to know his teachings and his practices. So I recommend that series from Dr. Yasir Qadhi, if you can. They are long, they are around an hour, but if you have an hour to kill or an hour spare, go ahead and watch them. They're brilliant, and we are doing them on our website, and we have been doing them for over a year now. There's that many, obviously. And we've just covered the conquest of Mecca, and I think we started the Battle of Tabuk, so it's continuing from there, and I think there's a few more before they stop. So please, that's every Sunday, inshallah. So please check them out. And remember that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he told us to look after our communities no matter where we are, and we shouldn't obviously go against that teaching. So if you are in the West, there are great ways to get involved, and these stories that are reflecting that today, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, Hira Ibrahim from Cali, I assume California. Well, I'm sure you're not cold. I'm sure it's very nice and warm there. How are you doing, sister? Assalamu alaikum, Shama Mehjabin. Who is she? Can somebody introduce her to me? Who do you mean, Shama? Let me know in the comments, because I don't know who you mean. You mean Sister Tammy? If so, you can just let us know, because I'm not sure what you mean. Right, the next story is a very nice one as well, also about Muslims living in the West and how they're helping out the needy over there. And this is in the US. We're going all the way to the USA. You've all heard of ISNA, or most of you should have heard ISNA. It's Islamic Circle of North America. They are very, very, very active in the States, and I believe Canada as well. And they do lots of charity work and lots of conventions as well. MashaAllah. And the latest one is actually to donate 50,000 free school supplies, so across the country. So what they've done is they've gathered, or they've managed to get all these school supplies for kids that are in need or need it, and they have distributed 50,000 backpacks full of school supplies over the whole of the states. And these are given to parents and children, of course, who are in desperate need for this kind of thing, because as you all know, or you should, well, I assume you know, even if you don't have kids, back to school stuff can cost a lot of money. And you know, if you are not in a system where it's already provided, then you know how much you have to pay to get these things. Anyway, sister, there is one of the ladies who was very grateful for this is a nun, Sister Catherine M. Ryan from the Maryville Academy in the United States. It's one of the places that have benefited from these backpacks. She is saying it demonstrates a strongly held belief that all children deserve protection and care. And doesn't it just? It doesn't matter where you're born, where you're born into or what you're born into. Everyone deserves the same kind of care in the world. So unfortunately, that's not practiced, as we know, but everybody does deserve that, no matter what your background is. Children benefiting from this are refugee families and migrant children that have recently been separated from their parents during the recent border crisis. So that's a really fantastic thing, don't you think? I think so. So well done to ISNA and all of those who have demonstrated there. I think that we have to play an active role in our societies, no matter where you are, so that we can show people what the real Islam is. And we often say it on here, how many times the Western media like to give Islam a bad face and like to make out that, you know, these things are not good. Muslims are not good people and Islam doesn't have good values, and it's the opposite. So this is the idea before regarding these Mondays, and this is why we do them. We do these positive Mondays to bring you these kind of stories from all around the world of Muslims doing things that really show the true Islamic teachings, no matter how big nor small. No, Sister Kira, we don't have scheduled halaq. We do live sessions. We do live session on Monday, where we discuss the positives of what Muslims all over the world are doing. And we have several live counseling sessions or talks throughout the month. But we don't actually have anything like that. So, yes, I think Sister Tammy as well also replied to you there. The next article actually is what I've asked you. No one answered apart from Sister Tammy. Thank you, Sister Tammy. Jazakallah khair. What are you grateful for today? So write to me, tell me, what are you grateful for today? I mean, there's so many things we can be grateful for. Grateful that we woke up, for one. Allah gave us another day, alhamdulillah. I'm grateful for family, grateful for good friends, grateful for all the simple things in life that make us happy. You know, and you think about certain situations in your life, like, you know, a warm coat as the winters come in, or you have a house because many people don't, and so on. So when somebody gives you something, whether it's small or big, do you show your gratitude? Do you show it? Is it hard for you, or does it come natural to you? Now, many of us are raised with good manners, alhamdulillah, and of course, it's a huge Islamic teaching to have good manners. In fact, it's one of the biggest things, and there's many hadiths relating to this, and I think I don't have the hadith number, but one of them is, of course, your character is going to be measured. Your goodness, your good character or good manners will be measured on the day of judgment. So we need to really keep that in check. How well mannered are we in general? Do you say please and thank you? Now, I've always been raised to say please and thank you, and I'm raising my daughter to do the same, because I do not like people who aren't appreciative. And of course, it can be over the smallest things in the end. But for example, if somebody holds a door open for you, do you say thank you? If somebody, you know, gives you something, it can be something small, do you say thank you, or do you just take it, or what? So anything this small is just as much of a big deal as if somebody's giving you a really huge gift. Like maybe somebody loves you and wants to, not necessarily love you, but you know, they want to give you the biggest gift you can think of. Maybe you had a hard time, so your family and friends decided, oh, we're going to get you a nice break. For, you know, so this happens. If it does happen, how are you thankful? How do you appreciate these things? I think it's a great emotion, and I think it's needed, especially in this day and age when the world is becoming bitter and cold. We need to warm it up, and to be thankful and to show gratitude. It is a wonderful emotion, and it is a warm emotion, especially when we express it, when we are given something. But for some reason, it seems to be dying away these days, right? Have you noticed that? I think so. These days, people just don't seem to be as grateful or as thankful anymore. Piety is a vital ingredient for thankfulness. Allah actually says, whoever is protected from the stinginess of his soul, it is those who will be successful. And that is in the Quran 59:9. So you think about that, Allah is already telling us your heart or your soul should be full of gratefulness, full of thankfulness. You shouldn't be stingy with it. And there's a lot of meanings for stingy. One is, of course, to not spend money and things like this, but the other is stinginess of the character. If somebody's doing you a good thing, you should be warm and thankful and showing that you're a good person and you are smiling and nice and showing that warmth. Stinginess means not just to be tight with money, but also tight with your emotion, you know, not showing it, being cold, being off-putting. This is not how a Muslim should behave, and it certainly isn't putting on a good look for the outside world, who may not know anything about Muslims or Islam. So we have to change that if that's how we're going around being. And it's even said so in the Quran. If you are stingy, you're not going to be successful. And it doesn't mean necessarily with money, it means as a whole. So we have to remember that. Generosity is a reflection of not being obsessed with possessions. You meet so many generous people, and I like to think there are more good people out there than bad, although these days we see too much bad. But I do still think that humanity has a lot of goodness and a lot of good people in there. And you can find these generous things in many things, like the two stories we've just spoken about and then the one after this. So it doesn't have to be on such a big scale, but you can offer to go and talk to your elderly neighbor who may be lonely, you know. That's a generous thing. That's giving your time to them to make them feel good. Or you can, a new mother who's just had a baby, you can offer to cook her meals and so she can freeze them, so she's not, you know, having to think about all that for a few weeks. Or maybe you can, a friend who's in need just needs to listen, just needs somebody to, all this is generous stuff that we can offer without money, if you don't have money. But it shows that you are not obsessed with the materialistic things in life if you're generous. So we should be equally as thankful if somebody's doing these things for us. We should show it. We should show that gratitude. If somebody is happy to be generous, we should be happy to be thankful back. Now, we benefit from thankfulness, and you know, when you're thankful, it makes you feel good, it makes you feel happy. And actually, according to psychologists, it makes you feel happier and heartier inside, because you recognize somebody's being kind to you, and you're showing that. And just imagine how that person's going to feel as well, you know. And, you know, it's also a sign that Allah is happy with us, and he's pleased with us. And he actually says, if you are grateful, he is pleased therewith for you. And that is in the Quran as well, in 39:7. So we need to remain conscious of Allah always, and we need to be grateful, no matter how small the gift may be. Whether it's just, you know, a small thing like somebody opening the door for you, or if it's a big thing like somebody is doing you a very big favor when you're in a bit of a troubled period. You need to show that gratefulness no matter how big or small the deed is. And it makes us good Muslims. And that is exactly what Islam is all about, and it's what we're taught. It's one of our Islamic values. So we need to show more of that so people can understand that. Sister Kira says, I love Islam, about Islam, because they post an excellent educational materials. I just thought it is nice to express our positive feelings. Thanks for what you do. Jazakallah khair, sister. This is our aim, to just educate in the correct way as much as we can. I mean, anything good obviously comes from Allah, and anything bad is from mistakes from ourselves without intention. I mean, we do get some very critical comments at times that I feel aren't needed, but you know, people like to voice their opinions. But in general, our intention is always good, and it's to bring you the proper Islamic teachings as much as we can, to educate our brothers and sisters, as well as ourselves, first and foremost, about the proper teachings of Islam. So we have to always be in check. So we need to, of course, first and foremost, make sure ourselves as the editors, as the social media girls, as all of this, we are educating ourselves first and foremost before we bring the issues to you. And it's very nice to hear positive feedback like that. So Jazakallah khair, Sister Hira. It means a lot to us, and I'm going to pass that on to our editors, because it will mean a lot to them as well. Alhamdulillah, we do like these positive comments on articles or on these live sessions, because it does motivate us to bring you more stuff that you may need or may require. And look, we do listen to the criticisms as well, but they need to be put in a positive criticism rather than how sometimes some people do. But we do listen to them, and we do take it very seriously no matter what. But this kind of thing means a lot to us, because it means we are on the right path, at least, alhamdulillah, and may Allah make it easy for us to continue. Ameen. Ayan, are you a sister, Ayan? I think you are. Alhamdulillah for everything, indeed. Yes, I mean, in a nutshell, we should be grateful for everything, whether it's bad or good. Alhamdulillah. Jules asking, salam, sister. Oh, yes. Well, we are at the same time most weeks. It will be UK time, I think 3:30 most weeks. If it changes, we will put it. Anyway, we always put a post just before. But every Monday around 3:30 BST, British Summer Time. I've got to work it out now. 5:30 Mecca time. And my time is Atlantic, so it's 11:30. So in the States, it might be 10:30 Eastern time, because I think they're an hour behind us. So that just to give you a view of more or less when we do. But if we do change it, we always put a post out before, just to let you know if it's going to be a different time or a different day. We always put a post 30 minutes before to let you know when we're about to go live. On the Mondays. On the other sessions, we do promote them 1 or 2 days before, and then we promote them again on the same day. So just so you know. And the last article today is Muslims in the US again. I mean, I hope any of you from the United States, if you're living on the East Coast, Ya Rab, you haven't been affected by the hurricane that's happened last week. Is it Hurricane Florence? I think so. And it had a devastating effects on the eastern part of the US in a lot of states there. So Ya Rab, everyone is safe. Anyway, yes, it is on Hurricane Florence. I've just written it in my notes as well. When Hurricane Florence hit, again, American Muslim organizations stepped up. And first and foremost, they said their mosques will become shelter for anyone who is in need and anyone who needs to evacuate. Because as you know, if you live in these kind of zones where the weather gets very bad, sometimes people are told to evacuate their home, and they have to go to somewhere safe. So a lot of the mosques open their doors and let people stay there. And they also donated supplies to those affected by the storm. Al Farouk Masjid on 14th Street, Atlanta, have packaged supplies for delivery to those needing aid. And ISNA, as I told you before, the Islamic Circle of North America, organized over 24 mosques as shelters for evacuees. They are also donating $100,000 towards relief efforts, which I think is fantastic, because, you know, as I've just said, we are living in these communities now, so we have to help when it's needed, and we really have to show them that the Islamic way. And by doing that, you're going to break down all these thoughts that Muslims are bad and Islam is bad and all of this. You're showing them the opposite. And I really admire the Muslims in the United States and Canada, because they really do step up to these things. And working at About Islam, we really get to see what they're doing in their communities. And I think ISNA is one of the best organizations that really rallies the Muslims together to do these things when it's really needed. Subhanallah and mashallah, and may Allah bless them all. Hi, Sister Nadia, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well today, inshallah. Muhammad Asif says, mashallah. Yes, indeed. It's a great initiative. Salam, Sister Deborah. How are you doing? Good Monday. Almost forgot you were on today. Yes, every Monday, Sister. How are you? Were you affected by the hurricane? I know you're living somewhere near it, aren't you? Or did you miss it? But I know that ISNA have been very busy there this time, helping people who have been affected. Okay, so that's the stories today. Now, I just want to, I will give, Jazakallah khair, Sister A, and I will give your salams to Layla. Yes, she's at school now, and she's having a very good time, mashallah. So if she ever has a day off, I think there is a Monday coming up where she's got it off. I'll see if she can pop onto you or to say hi if it's my turn to do the video, because she really enjoys speaking to you. But I will let her know. This will make her day, alhamdulillah. I want to now mention, not all of you are obviously on, or not all of you want to be on Facebook all day long. So not all of you are checking out our page all day long. I know you check it from time to time because I know many of you comment on it. But if you just want to do a quick check on the top articles, then why don't you subscribe to our Telegram channel? Now, a lot of you ask us if we're on WhatsApp. We are not on WhatsApp at this moment. Maybe we will look into it in the future. But what we are on is Telegram. So you can subscribe to our Telegram channel. Sister Tammy tells me it's fantastic. I had no space to download it onto my phone, although I have a new phone, alhamdulillah, so I may be subscribing very soon. And I'm going to see how great this channel is. And she said it's got lots of great stuff on there. So if you subscribe to our Telegram channel, and Sister Tammy will put a link up for you to do that, you will get 3 of our top articles daily. So if you don't always have time to check Facebook, or you're just not in the mood, or maybe you're having a social media break one time, but you still want to be connected to us, Telegram is a great way to do that, and we'll put 3 of our top articles of the day onto Telegram, and that's daily. She does that daily, does Sister Tammy. So please go over there and subscribe. Alhamdulillah, Deborah, the hurricane was north of us. Alhamdulillah, just a bit of rain. Alhamdulillah, you're safe, sister, and I hope everything is okay with you. Maud Iqbal bin Rafiq, I'm so sorry if I said your name wrong, brother. MashaAllah. How are you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. The next thing I want to tell you is you may see on our Facebook page from time to time, we usually do 2 of our own videos a week. So we usually do 2 a week, and they are a variety of topics. Our editors write some very beautiful scripts on certain topics that they want to bring to attention, and we put them on Facebook. But we have our very own YouTube channel. So you will see all of our own produced videos of different topics on there, plus all of our live videos also on YouTube. So as well as some counseling videos that we do separate from Facebook, we put them on YouTube as well. So if you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please hop over there and subscribe. We have all of our videos that we produce as About Islam on several topics. We have all of our Positive Mondays on there in case you want to catch up with me and Sister Tammy if you missed one. And we also have our live sessions with Sister Leah, Brother Walid, our counsellors, Sister Naila, Brother Kareem, our fatwa sessions with Sheikh Mohammed. You can, I think that's everyone, you can go over and check them all out. They're on our YouTube channel, and Sister Tammy will put that for us as well, inshallah. And last but not least, if you are a new Muslim, or you've been converted several years, but you want to help out other new Muslims, or even if you're not a convert, but you are born Muslim, but you want to help out any of our new brothers and sisters, please go over to our group. It's called About Islam 101. We are a very nice group. I feel it's a very nice community. It's very friendly. People are very nice over there. We've not had no trouble Alhamdulillah. So please feel free to join our group today or any other day if you don't feel like it today. You can post what you like. Usually on our About Islam page, we only post as About Islam. On our group, you are allowed to post anything you like within reason. I'm telling you now, we don't want any posts that are intolerant or anything like that. But you can go over and check it out and be one of us. You will see us on there. Me and Sister Tammy moderate over there as well. So please feel free to join us. And that's all about us this week. So I'm just going to make quick dua for our brothers and sisters. I just want to make a special dua to one of our editors who just recently had an operation. May Allah grant him shifa and a speedy recovery as soon as possible. Ameen Ya Rab. We made a beautiful dua for Sister Tammy earlier and her daughter. May she travel to the US in a very safe way tomorrow, and her daughter gives safe delivery of her baby, and may Allah give them both health and happiness. Ameen Ya Rab. And I want to give a shout out to a friend of mine. Her mother has cancer, so please keep her in your dua, and that Allah grants her shifa and speedy recovery as well. Ameen Ya Rab. And I'm giving dua to all of the oppressed Muslims out there, our brothers and sisters in war-torn countries such as Syria, as Palestine, in Yemen, the Rohingya and Kashmir, because we got to comment and we do keep brothers and sisters in Kashmir in our prayers. Believe me, we do. So I'm asking Allah to grant all the brothers and sisters in these places, or who have had to move from these places and living in terrible conditions now, may Allah give them patience and ease during this time. And any of them who have sadly succumbed to what's going on, may Allah grant them paradise. Ameen Ya Rab. So that is all from me today, brothers and sisters. I shall see you next week for another live Positive Mondays. Join me then. And Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.